Michael Jordan discovers his high school janitor still working at 80. His next move stuns everyone. When Michael Jordan returned to Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina, he expected to relive memories of his basketball beginnings. What he didn't anticipate was seeing Mr. Wilson, the janitor who had supported him years ago after he was cut from the varsity basketball team. Now 80 years old, Mr. Wilson was still mopping the gym floors with the same care and dedication he had shown when Michael was just a teenage hopeful. For Michael, this moment was a powerful reminder of how far he had come. He had always known the importance of perseverance, but seeing Mr. Wilson still at work after so many years made him reflect on his own journey. Sometimes you need to remember where you started to make sense of where you ended up, Michael thought as he watched the elderly man whose quiet belief in him had made all the difference. Back in high school, Mr. Wilson had been a quiet mentor. He let Michael practice in the gym long after hours and offered encouraging words when no one else did. That support, when Michael was at his lowest, had inspired him to push forward rather than quit. Seeing Mr. Wilson now still faithfully working reminded Michael of the silent, unsung heroes who impact lives without seeking recognition. This encounter marked a turning point for Michael, making him realize that sometimes it's the smallest acts of kindness that have the most profound effects. Michael's return to Laney High wasn't just about revisiting the past. It was about honoring the people who helped shape his future, including the man who believed in him when no one else did. As Michael stood in the gym, memories flooded back. He remembered the countless hours he spent practicing, trying to perfect his jump shot after being cut from the varsity team. The sting of that rejection still lingered, but it had fueled a fire inside him, a determination to never be overlooked again. As he walked through the gym, he noticed the familiar figure of Mr. Wilson, the school janitor who had always let him stay late to practice. The elderly man, now 80 years old, was quietly mopping the floor. Michael approached him, unsure if he would be recognized after all these years. "Excuse me, sir," Michael said. Mr. Wilson looked up, squinting, and then smiled with a hint of confusion. "Gym's closed unless you're here for one of the girls," he said. When Michael introduced himself as Little Mike Jordan, a flicker of recognition crossed Mr. Wilson's face. "Well, I'll be Little Mike. You've grown a bit." As the two talked, Michael was struck by how Mr. Wilson, despite his age, was still faithfully doing the same job he had done decades ago. At 80, Mr. Wilson was still working full-time, mopping floors, keeping the gym spotless, and never asking for recognition. The sight of Mr. Wilson, so dedicated yet still working to make ends meet, stirred something in Michael. This man had quietly supported him when no one else did, offering him a place to practice, a word of encouragement when he was struggling. It wasn't just a gym that Mr. Wilson had opened for him all those years ago, it was a door to his future. Michael knew in that moment that he couldn't just walk away. He had to do something to repay Mr. Wilson for his unwavering belief. Michael Jordan spots his high school janitor still working at 80, and what he does next will leave you speechless. Drop a 1 in the comments, and stick around until the end to uncover the heartwarming story. After their emotional reunion at the gym, Michael invited Mr. Wilson to dinner at Katie's Diner, a place that held special memories for him from his childhood. As they sat down at a booth, Michael couldn't help but feel a deep sense of connection to the man who had supported him during his most uncertain years. Over cheeseburgers and milkshakes, Mr. Wilson began to open up about his life. He shared stories of his long marriage to Martha, his high school sweetheart, and how they had built a life together. They had raised 2 children and now enjoyed the love of grandchildren, though Martha's stroke 3 years ago had changed everything. She was now in a wheelchair, unable to move freely around their home. Michael was struck by how Mr. Wilson spoke about his family. There was a quiet strength in his words, a humility that reflected the sacrifices he had made for them. But when the conversation turned to finances, the reality became clear. Mr. Wilson had worked at Laney High for 47 years, yet with his limited pension and Martha's medical bills, retirement wasn't a feasible option. The thought of continuing to work at 80 just to survive troubled Michael deeply. Later that evening, Michael visited the Wilsons' modest home. The house, though clean and well-kept, showed signs of neglect. Peeling paint, sagging steps, and a worn-out interior. He met Martha, who greeted him warmly despite the visible struggle of moving in her wheelchair. The sight of Mr. Wilson sleeping on a thin mattress on the floor next to his wife's hospital bed hit Michael hard. The love between the two was palpable, but their living conditions were far from what they deserved. As Michael observed their home, he saw the cracks that ran deeper than just the house. It wasn't just the physical state of the place. It was the weight of their financial burden, the exhaustion in Mr. Wilson's eyes as he spoke of the countless hours of work he had put in, and the quiet sacrifices that had gone unnoticed by most. It was clear to Michael that Mr. Wilson had given everything for his family, yet still found himself trapped in a cycle of hardship. It was in that moment, as Michael watched the quiet strength of the Wilsons, that he realized how much he wanted to help them. Determined to make a difference, Michael knew he had to shift his priorities. The next morning, he cancelled his business meetings and rescheduled his flight, fully committing to helping the Wilsons. Sometimes you need to remember where you started to make sense of where you ended up, he thought, as he reflected on how far he had come, thanks to Mr. Wilson's belief in him. He began making calls, first to his business manager, then his lawyer, and finally to a local contractor named Dave. Michael outlined his plan for a complete home renovation for the Wilsons, knowing time was of the essence. "It needs to be fast, perfect, and a total surprise," he told Dave, emphasizing that there was no room for error. When Michael met with Dave later that day, he was clear about his expectations. "We've got to make this happen in a week, no excuses," he said. "This place has to feel like a home that reflects everything Mr. Wilson has given up for his family." Dave, though initially shocked by the short timeline, understood the urgency and nodded. "We'll make it happen, Mr. Jordan. No one's ever done something like this before, but I promise we'll get it right." As the plan took shape, Michael began assembling a team to address every aspect of the Wilsons' needs, financial, healthcare, and home-related. He reached out to financial experts to ensure the Wilsons' future was secured, a healthcare team to assist with Martha's needs, and a support network to help them manage the transition. "I want them to never worry about anything again," Michael said firmly. "This isn't just about a house, it's about giving them the life they deserve." He was more determined than ever to see the plan through, knowing that Mr. Wilson had given so much without ever expecting anything in return. As the scope of the project grew, Michael knew he couldn't do it alone. He began assembling a team of experts, reaching out to contractors, designers, healthcare specialists, and financial advisors to bring the renovation and support plan to life. He was clear about his vision. "I want this to be more than just a house. It needs to be a place where they can truly live, not just survive." The team quickly got to work, with the contractors focused on the house overhaul, designers ensuring the space was not only functional but beautiful, and healthcare specialists planning modifications for Martha's wheelchair accessibility. Michael also established a trust fund to ensure the Wilsons had long-term financial stability, covering both medical expenses and any future needs. "They shouldn't have to worry about a thing after this," Michael said, his voice resolute. The timeline was tight, just 1 week, but with the entire team on board, they were determined to make it happen. "No shortcuts," Michael reminded them as they discussed the project. "We're doing this right, even if it takes every ounce of effort we've got." To give the team the time they needed to work undisturbed, Michael invited Mr. and Mrs. Wilson to a special week-long basketball camp reunion at the beach. "I want them to enjoy themselves, not have to think about what's going on here," Michael said. It was the perfect cover, allowing the team a window to complete the renovations without raising any suspicion. Scotty Pippen, always willing to help a friend, was quick to offer his support. "I'm in, Mike, whatever you need," Scotty said, eager to assist with the logistics of the surprise. As the team came together, Michael felt the weight of his decision, but also the energy of what they were about to accomplish. This isn't just about fixing up a house. It's about showing Mr. Wilson he's valued, finally. As the renovation project progressed, Michael quickly realized that it was becoming more than just a physical transformation of the Wilsons' home. It was evolving into something deeper, something that would resonate far beyond the walls of their modest house. The work wasn't just about fixing broken windows or repairing a roof. It was about acknowledging the quiet, often unseen heroes who dedicate their lives to others without ever seeking recognition. I didn't expect this to go beyond just helping Mr. Wilson, Michael thought as he watched the transformation unfold. But seeing the way this community is coming together, it's about more than just a house, it's about honoring people like Mr. Wilson. The project garnered more attention than Michael had anticipated. Neighbors, former students, and even local businesses were offering support, with everyone eager to contribute in their own way. Michael began to realize that this wasn't just a single act of kindness, it was a movement to recognize those who work thankless jobs, who often go unappreciated, and yet give so much to others. Inspired by the growing support, Michael decided to take the initiative even further. He began working on a charity foundation dedicated to supporting those in roles like Mr. Wilson's. "It's time these people get the recognition they deserve," Michael said. The James Wilson Foundation would focus on creating scholarships, providing emergency funds, and offering recognition programs for those who, like Mr. Wilson, served silently but made a lasting impact on their communities. Should more celebrities follow Michael Jordan's lead and use their platform to support community initiatives and unsung heroes? Yes or no? What do you think is the responsibility of public figures? The foundation's early support was overwhelming. In just a short time, it had raised $3 million, and Michael knew this was just the beginning. This is about more than just one person. It's about changing the way we see the people who shape our communities, he said, fully committed to creating a lasting legacy in Mr. Wilson's honor. As Michael returned to Laney High and the renovation work began in full force, word had already spread throughout the community. The project had sparked an outpouring of support, with former staff members, neighbors, and current school employees all eager to pitch in. It was clear that this was more than just a renovation. It had become a collective mission. "I've never seen anything like this," one local contractor remarked, shaking his head as he surveyed the site. The entire town had rallied together to make the Wilsons' home safe, accessible, and, above all, comfortable. With Michael leading the charge, the scope of the operation expanded quickly. Volunteers and professionals alike worked tirelessly, transforming every inch of the house. The renovation was no longer just about making a house functional. It was about creating a space that would give the Wilsons a well-deserved sense of peace and security. As he walked through the house, Michael couldn't help but feel a swell of pride in the community's efforts. "This is what it's all about," he said, watching as another crew set up ramps and widened doorways. However, not all eyes were focused on the work itself. A local news crew arrived, eager to capture Michael's involvement in the project. While he was committed to seeing the renovation through, Michael was sternly opposed to any publicity about his role. "This is not about me," he stated firmly to the reporter. "This is about Mr. Wilson. It's his story that needs to be told, not mine." In a quiet but firm conversation with the news team, Michael reached an agreement. They would be allowed to document the renovation once it was completed, but the focus would remain solely on Mr. Wilson and the incredible support he had received from the community. "We're honoring a lifetime of service," Michael said. "This is his moment, not mine." The team agreed, and the spotlight would remain where it truly belonged, on the quiet hero who had spent decades giving without expectation. After 2 days of intense work, the transformation of the Wilsons' home was already striking. The new accessible bathroom was fully installed, complete with a roll-in shower and safety features. The foundation for the expanded hallway was complete, and the interior of the house was slowly beginning to take shape. It was clear to everyone on site that this wasn't just about physical improvements. It was about creating a space that would support the Wilsons' future. As the renovations continued, former students began showing up to lend a hand. Many of them had heard about the project and wanted to give back to the man who had given so much to them. One by one, they shared their stories of how Mr. Wilson had quietly changed their lives. "He stayed late to help me with my homework when no one else would," one former student recalled, as she helped paint the living room walls. "When I couldn't afford a prom dress, he found a way to get me one." Each story seemed to add another layer to the growing sense of community, as more people connected with the impact Mr. Wilson had had on their lives. It became evident that his influence stretched far beyond the school grounds and had touched the lives of so many in ways that had often gone unacknowledged. Despite the progress, there was still much work left to do. "We're not done yet," Michael reminded the team as they prepared for another long day. "The house is coming together, but we've got to make sure it's exactly what the Wilsons need." It was a reminder that the task wasn't just about creating a home. It was about making sure every detail, every adjustment was in place to ensure the Wilsons could truly live comfortably and safely in their new space. The work was far from over, but with each passing day, the project felt more like a labor of love, one that would change their lives forever. What had started as a private mission quickly became a community-wide effort. As the renovation progressed, neighbors began showing up at the Wilsons' home, offering their time, skills, and resources. Materials, tools, and even home-cooked meals flooded in, with everyone eager to contribute to the cause. It was clear that this wasn't just about rebuilding a house. It was about honoring a man who had quietly given so much to the community. Former students of Mr. Wilson who had heard about the project shared their own stories of how he had shaped their lives. One man, now in his 40s, stood by the front porch and recalled how Mr. Wilson had taught him the value of hard work. "He was always there, whether I was struggling in school or just needed someone to listen. He never asked for anything in return, just made me feel like I mattered," he said, his voice thick with emotion. Love this video? Show some love with a like and a subscribe. Hate it? A like would still be awesome, and your feedback in the comments will help me improve. As these stories poured in, it became clear that Mr. Wilson's impact on the community went far beyond his work at the school. His dedication and quiet kindness had touched so many lives in ways that had often gone unnoticed. And now, with this renovation, the entire community had the chance to give back, to honor the man who had always worked behind the scenes to make their lives better. "What started as something personal has turned into something much bigger," Michael remarked as he watched the neighbors work together. "This is a reflection of the kind of person Mr. Wilson is, a man whose kindness and generosity have spread through this town, and now the whole town is coming together to honor him." What was once a solitary effort to help an elderly janitor had grown into a collective mission, a celebration of a man whose life of service had been the backbone of the community for decades. As the day of the Wilsons' return drew closer, the team worked tirelessly to add the final touches to the house. New furniture was arranged, decorative pieces carefully placed, and every detail was examined to ensure that the space would feel like a true home for Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. The atmosphere was one of quiet anticipation, as everyone knew the moment they had been working toward was almost here. The final day arrived, and as the Wilsons made their way back from the beach house, Michael stood by the front door, ready to greet them. His heart raced with excitement, knowing how much this moment would mean to them. The team had worked day and night, but now it was time to reveal the transformation. When the Wilsons pulled up, Michael stepped forward with a warm smile. As Mr. and Mrs. Wilson stepped out of the car, Michael extended a pair of scissors to Mr. Wilson, who looked confused but touched. "This is for you," Michael said. "You've always opened doors for others. Now it's your turn to open this one." With a look of wonder, Mr. Wilson took the scissors and, with a shaking hand, cut the ribbon that adorned the front door. As he stepped inside, the Wilsons were greeted by the sight of their home, transformed. The once dilapidated house now sparkled with warmth and comfort, a space designed to make their lives easier, safer, and full of joy. In that moment, as Mr. Wilson stood speechless, Michael knew the work had been worth it. This was more than just a house. It was a testament to a lifetime of quiet dedication, finally acknowledged by the people who had witnessed his impact. The homecoming wasn't just about returning to a house, it was about celebrating a man who had given so much to so many. As Mr. and Mrs. Wilson stepped inside, their eyes widened in disbelief. The transformation was nothing short of remarkable. The once narrow, cramped hallways had been replaced with wide, open spaces designed for easy wheelchair access. The soft lighting and tasteful decor created a warm and inviting atmosphere that instantly made the house feel like a home. Michael guided them through each room, explaining the details of the renovations: the accessible kitchen, the wide doorways, the roll-in shower that now made it possible for Martha to move freely. Everywhere they looked, there were thoughtful touches that reflected the care and effort put into the project. "This is all for you," Michael said, his voice full of emotion. Tears welled up in Mrs. Wilson's eyes as she took in her new surroundings. "I can't believe it," she whispered, running her hand over the smooth countertops. "This is more than we could ever have dreamed of." As they continued through the house, Michael paused in the living room and turned to them, his expression serious. "There's one more thing," he said. "We've set up a trust fund for both of you through Laney High, funded by the people who care about you the most. Your neighbors, your community, and all the former students whose lives you've touched." Just as he spoke, the front door opened and a wave of familiar faces stepped into the room. Former students, neighbors, and current staff from Laney High, all of whom had contributed in some way to the renovation, gathered around the Wilsons. They were met with hugs, handshakes, and expressions of deep gratitude. Each person took a moment to thank Mr. and Mrs. Wilson for the positive impact they had made on their lives, sharing stories of how Mr. Wilson had been there for them during tough times, how he had believed in them when no one else did. Mr. Wilson, his voice breaking, stood silently as the love and admiration of those around him poured out. "I never expected anything like this," he murmured, overwhelmed by the outpouring of affection. It was a moment of profound gratitude, one where the quiet efforts of a lifetime were finally recognized and celebrated, not just in words, but in the tangible legacy of a home built with love and respect. As the outpouring of support continued from the neighbors and community, Michael realized that this project was only the beginning. The love and gratitude shown to Mr. and Mrs. Wilson were just a glimpse of what could be done for others like him, those who had given their time, energy, and hearts to help others without ever expecting recognition. With that in mind, Michael made a bold announcement. Standing before the gathered community in the newly renovated living room, he spoke with deep conviction. "Today, we celebrate Mr. Wilson's life of service, but we're not stopping here. I'm proud to announce the creation of the James Wilson Foundation. It's dedicated to supporting those who work behind the scenes to make our communities better, just like Mr. Wilson has done for decades. I'll be sitting on the board, and I promise you all we will work tirelessly to ensure that the kind of support you've shown here today will extend to many others." The room erupted in applause, a collective acknowledgement that this was just the start of something bigger. The foundation would focus on providing grants, scholarships, and support to those who served quietly and selflessly, making a difference without ever asking for anything in return. Meanwhile, in the comfort of his newly renovated home and a space that Michael had helped create for him, Mr. Wilson found peace in knowing that the next phase of his life was beginning. His new office, designed specifically to allow him to work comfortably, was set up with all the tools he needed to help lead the foundation. The humble janitor who had spent years cleaning floors and opening doors for others was now in a position to open even more doors, this time to empower and honor those who had dedicated their lives to serving others. As he settled into his new role, Mr. Wilson could finally look forward to a future where he could continue to give, this time through the foundation, with the support of his community, his family, and Michael by his side. It was a new chapter for a man who had never stopped believing in others, and now it was time for the world to believe in him. As the final touches were put on the Wilsons' new life, Michael stood quietly, reflecting on the journey he had embarked on. He had always thought of success in terms of championships, records, and accolades, but now he saw it differently. His legacy would be measured not by the rings on his fingers or the trophies on his shelf, but by the lives he had touched in a more meaningful way. Watching Mr. Wilson step into his new office, ready to lead the foundation and continue impacting lives, Michael realized that this was a victory unlike any other. The work they had done together wasn't just about fixing a house, it was about creating a lasting ripple effect that would reach far beyond their small corner of Wilmington. What we've done here, Michael thought, is just the beginning. This will go on long after I'm gone. The foundation, named in Mr. Wilson's honor, would live on, growing and supporting countless people who, like him, had given so much to their communities without seeking recognition. Michael understood now that the most profound victories were those that helped others find their strength, their worth, and their voice. For Michael, the true measure of success had shifted. The greatest triumph of his career wasn't the championships he won on the basketball court, but the opportunity to help someone who had shaped his life when he was just starting out. It was a moment of full-circle redemption, knowing that he had given back to the person who had changed him. In that moment, Michael understood that the work of caring for others, of lifting up the quiet heroes in the world, would always outlast any individual. It was a legacy of kindness, compassion, and love, one that would continue to grow, touch lives, and inspire others long after the final whistle had blown. This, he realized, was his greatest victory. They brought laughter, warmth, and unforgettable moments to the Parkers, but behind the comedy, there are heartbreaking stories. Did you know that some of your favorite actors from the show are no longer with us? In today's video, we're remembering 22 The Parkers stars who tragically passed away. From unexpected losses to battles with illness, these actors left a mark on our hearts that will never fade. How did we lose them? And what's their lasting legacy? Stay tuned to find out. You won't believe some of the stories we're about to share. Thomas Michael Ford. Thomas Michael Ford played the role of Mel Parker, the caring but often exasperated father of Nicky Parker, in The Parkers, from 1999 to 2004. His portrayal of Mel, a grounded and loving parent, brought balance and sincerity to the show, offering viewers both humor and heart. In 1999, when he joined the series at 35 years old, Ford quickly became a beloved figure known for his authenticity and warmth. Sadly, Ford passed away on October 12, 2016, at the age of 52 in Atlanta, Georgia, after complications from a ruptured abdominal aneurysm. Despite being placed on life support, his passing was a heartbreaking loss to his family, friends, and fans alike. Ford's memorable line, "No, no, 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 not at all, Mr. Quick, we're just enjoying the night out," exemplified his knack for delivering humor with ease. His legacy as a talented actor and a cherished part of the Parkers endures, with his work continuing to bring joy to audiences who remember his impact on the show and in the entertainment world. Estelle Harris. Estelle Harris portrayed the quirky and endearing Miss Agnes, a character who brought both humor and a touch of mischief to the Parkers from 1999 to 2004. As a feisty, older neighbor to the characters, Miss Agnes had a knack for creating memorable moments, leaving an indelible mark on fans of the show. In 1999, when she joined the series at the age of 71, Harris instantly captivated viewers with her comedic flair and sharp delivery. Sadly, Estelle Harris passed away on April 2, 2022, at the age of 93 in Palm Desert, California, after a decline in health attributed to natural causes. Her passing marked the end of a remarkable career that spanned decades, touching hearts across generations. Harris's memorable lines like, "Don't understand why you can't do this for me," and "I just got here, Ma. I'd like to spend a little time with you, but if you wait, they won't let you back in. Visiting hours remain iconic." Her legacy lives on, cherished by fans who remember her as a comedic treasure and an unforgettable part of the Parkers. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman played a fictionalized version of himself in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004, bringing his signature comedic style to the show with sharp wit and a sense of playful self-awareness. As a beloved actor from different strokes, his guest appearances as himself provided a fun meta layer to the sitcom. When he joined the series in 2002 at the age of 34, Coleman's character brought both humor and a touch of nostalgia for fans of his earlier work. Sadly, Gary Coleman passed away on May 28, 2010, at the age of 42 in Provo, Utah, following an epidural hematoma caused by a fall in his home. He had endured numerous health complications throughout his life, including kidney disease, which required multiple transplants, and these struggles marked his journey long before his untimely passing. Coleman's memorable exchange from The Parkers remains iconic. "Little Pete, yeah, I used to watch that show. You're a fan?" "I said I watched it. I didn't say I liked it. How long did that Tilly show of yours run?" His legacy as a comedic presence and a beloved figure in television endures, and his contributions to the Parkers and entertainment will not be forgotten. Isabel Sanford. Isabel Sanford played Evelyn Nana Smith, the warm and wise matriarch in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. Her portrayal of Nana, with her loving nature and sharp insight, added both humor and heart to the series. When she joined the cast in 2001 at the age of 84, Sanford brought decades of experience in television and film, having already made a significant impact on the industry with her iconic role as Louise "Wheezy" Jefferson on The Jeffersons. Tragically, Isabel Sanford passed away on July 9, 2004, at the age of 86 in Los Angeles, California, due to heart failure, following a series of health complications, including surgery on her carotid arteries several months before. Her unforgettable line, "I get back in time to see Sex in the City, those white girls are so crazy," became a memorable moment in The Parkers. Sanford's legacy as an accomplished actress who brought grace and humor to her roles endures, and she remains cherished by fans for her roles on both The Jeffersons and The Parkers. Suzanne Douglas. Suzanne Douglas played the role of Constance McFarland, the strong, sophisticated and loving aunt to Kim Parker, in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. With her graceful yet assertive presence, Douglas brought depth and elegance to her character, quickly becoming a fan favorite. When she joined the series in 1999, at the age of 42, her portrayal of Aunt Connie added a sense of wisdom and grounding to the comedic dynamics of the show. Tragically, Suzanne Douglas passed away on July 6, 2021, at the age of 64 in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, after privately battling pancreatic cancer. Her passing marked the end of a brilliant career and left a profound impact on those who admired her work. Douglas's sharp wit was exemplified in moments like this exchange. "Shopping, Kim. Where on earth did you get that outfit?" "It's from you, Aunt Connie. You sent it to me." "But that was 4 years ago. I'm surprised, a little concerned it still fits." Her legacy, filled with grace and strength, endures in both her iconic roles and the inspiration she provided to many. Can you guess which The Parkers actor had the most shocking or heart-wrenching story? Comment 1, hit that like button, and watch until the end to uncover the truth. Yvette Wilson. Yvette Wilson brought to life the beloved Andell Wilkerson, a kind-hearted and humorous friend to Nikki Parker in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. Her portrayal of Andell's sharp wit and warm spirit endeared her to fans, making her an integral part of the show's charm. In 1999, when she joined the series at the age of 35, Wilson's comedic timing and infectious energy made her a standout. Tragically, she passed away on June 14, 2012, at the age of 48 in Los Angeles, California, after a prolonged battle with cervical cancer, compounded by kidney disease. She faced these health struggles with incredible courage, but her passing left a deep void in the entertainment world. Her memorable lines, such as "Is no triple EOWH, but that was an innocent mix-up," and "Yeah, well, thank God Patty's so loud we can hear from the parking lot," showcased her comedic brilliance. Fans will always remember her not just for her performances, but for the joy she spread both on and off the screen. Her legacy lives on through the laughter she brought to the Parkers and beyond. Robert Doakey. Robert Doakey played the role of Walter, a memorable character in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. As a no-nonsense figure, Walter brought wisdom and authority to the show, his character often serving as a voice of reason amidst the chaos. When he joined the series in 2001 at the age of 67, Doakey's extensive experience in both film and television made him a seasoned presence on the set, adding depth to the show's ensemble cast. Tragically, Robert Doakey passed away on February 9, 2008, at the age of 73 in Los Angeles, California. His death was caused by complications from diabetes, a condition he had battled for several years. Doakey's powerful delivery was evident in his memorable lines such as, "A sergeant driving people out of their homes is no work for a cop," and "Now, Sergeant, 15 years on the force is quite an..." His legacy in entertainment endures, and his portrayal of Walter will forever be remembered by fans of The Parkers for the strength and gravitas he brought to the role. Terry Rhodes. Terry Rhodes played Reginald, a recurring character in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. As the quirky and sometimes outlandish character, Reginald brought a unique comedic flair to the show. often providing moments of levity in the midst of the series' humor and heart. In 2003, when Rhodes joined the cast at the age of 52, his engaging presence and ability to play off the main characters left a lasting impression on fans. Tragically, Terry Rhodes passed away on October 11, 2013, at the age of 61 in Los Angeles, California. His death was caused by amyloidosis, a rare and serious disease that causes abnormal protein buildup in the organs affecting their proper function. Though his time on the Parkers was brief, his contributions were memorable and appreciated by viewers. One of his iconic moments was when he delivered the line, "There's no more noble endeavor than Ryan hot chicks watch for, that's my wife out of," showcasing his knack for delivering absurd humor. His legacy endures through the laughter he brought to the series, and he will be fondly remembered by fans. David Graff. David Graff played the role of the health inspector in The Parkers, a minor but memorable character who made his mark with his brief appearance on the show in 1999. When he joined the series, he was 49 years old, bringing his trademark charm and comedic timing to the role, despite the small but impactful moments he had on screen. His performance added a touch of humor and levity to the show, contributing to the diverse cast of characters that made The Parkers beloved by audiences. Tragically, David Graff passed away on April 7, 2001 at the age of 50 in Phoenix, Arizona. He died suddenly from a heart attack while attending a family wedding, leaving behind family, friends and fans who were shocked by his untimely passing. Graff, known for his work in films such as Police Academy and Eurotrip, left a lasting legacy through his memorable characters. Though his role on The Parkers was brief, his ability to bring humor and warmth to every character he portrayed ensures he will always be remembered. Leave a comment with RIP to pay tribute to the talented actors from The Parkers who have tragically left us too soon. Let's honor their legacy together. James Karen. James Karen played Rert Van Loo, a distinguished and charismatic character in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. Known for his charm and commanding presence, Karen brought a refined yet eccentric flair to the role, adding depth to the series with his memorable performance. In 2000, when he joined the cast at 77 years old, his extensive career in film and television brought a wealth of experience, and his contributions added a unique energy to the show. Tragically, James Karen passed away on October 23, 2018, at the age of 94 in Los Angeles, California. His death was caused by respiratory failure, a complication attributed to his advanced age. His passing marked the end of a long and celebrated career, which spanned decades and included roles in films like The Return of the Living Dead and Poltergeist. One of his most memorable lines from The Parkers was, "Away from me, you're no Tom-going brains. If you love me, you'll let me eat your brains." His legacy endures through the unforgettable characters he portrayed, leaving a lasting impact on both fans and the industry. Michael Taliaferro. Michael Taliaferro portrayed Kyle, a tough and often antagonistic character on The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. With his commanding presence and no-nonsense attitude, Kyle brought an edge to the series, often creating comedic tension with the other characters. When Taliaferro appeared in the show in 2002, at the age of 41, he quickly became known for his strong performances and dynamic energy. Tragically, Michael Taliaferro passed away on May 4, 2006, at the age of 44, in Los Angeles, California. His death was caused by complications from a stroke, cutting short the life of a talented actor who had a promising career ahead. Taliaferro's memorable lines like "You and tell you I called you 10 times and you know, turncoat," are forever linked to his sharp delivery and the memorable energy he brought to his role. His untimely passing left a gap in the entertainment world, but his contributions to The Parkers remain an enduring part of his legacy. Dorian Wilson. Dorian Wilson played Professor Stanley Ogilvy, the handsome and often exasperated love interest of Nikki Parker, in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. With his smooth charm and comedic timing, Wilson brought the perfect balance of frustration and affection to his role as the long-suffering professor who found himself at the center of Nikki's relentless pursuit. When he joined the series in 1999 at the age of 36, Wilson's portrayal of Professor Ogilvy became a fan favorite, with his dynamic chemistry with Monique's Nikki driving much of the show's romantic humor. As of 2025, Dorian Wilson is 61 years old and remains an active presence in television, frequently appearing in sitcoms and guest roles while continuing his long-running career in Hollywood. Known for his versatility and likable persona, Wilson has continued to thrive in both comedic and dramatic roles over the years. One of his memorable lines from The Parkers was, "Me, you two are engaged, I wish you would stop saying that," which perfectly captured the humorous tension between his character and Nikki. Wilson's legacy in The Parkers lives on, and his continued work in television solidifies his place in Hollywood. Ken Lawson. Ken Lawson played Thaddeus T. Radcliffe, Kim Parker's charming and aspiring musician friend, on The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. With his laid-back demeanor and magnetic charisma, Lawson brought T to life as the smooth, cool character with big dreams. When Lawson joined the series in 1999 at the age of 23, he quickly became a fan favorite, embodying the perfect balance of wit, warmth, and youthful energy, which complemented the dynamics of the show. As of 2025, Ken Lawson is 49 years old and has continued to work in the entertainment industry, occasionally acting and pursuing his passion for music. While he has kept a relatively low profile over the years, Lawson's career still reflects his versatility, whether in front of the camera or in the studio. One of his memorable lines from The Parkers was, "Until I found out he was still dating Debbie Lewis. Oh, here he comes. Well, 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 well. It is a Nikki." Lawson's portrayal of T, filled with humor and charm, remains a highlight of The Parkers, and his continued work in entertainment is a testament to his enduring talent. Monique. Audiences were first introduced to Monique as Nikki Parker, the bold, vibrant, and fiercely determined mother who embarked on an unconventional college journey alongside her daughter in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. Her portrayal of Nikki, with her relentless pursuit of her professor's affections and her unshakable belief in family, quickly became one of the show's most beloved aspects. In 1999, when Monique was 32 years old, her charismatic and fearless character brought warmth and humor to the screen, endearing her to viewers nationwide. Fast forward to 2025, and Monique is 57 years old, continuing to thrive in the entertainment world. Her career has evolved as she made a powerful return to stand-up comedy and returned to dramatic roles in both films and television, earning accolades for her performances and inspiring a new generation of fans. A standout moment from The Parkers was her line, "In a mentor program that I organized, sort of like a big brother, a big sister program," to which she responded, "Oh, well, I could use some guidance from a big strong brother." Monique's portrayal of Nikki remains unforgettable, cementing her as a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. Countess Vaughn. Countess Vaughn brought Kimberly Ann Parker to life in The Parkers, a role that captured both the humor and complexity of being Nikki's sometimes naive but always charismatic daughter. Her character's journey from a college student to a young woman navigating love and life was central to the show's dynamic. In 1999, at the age of 21, Vaughn's infectious energy and comedic timing made her a standout on the series, and her chemistry with co-stars added depth to the Parkers ensemble. Now in 2025, Countess Vaughn is 46 years old and continues to make occasional appearances in the entertainment industry. Despite facing health challenges over the years, including struggles with vitiligo and thyroid issues, Vaughn remains active, occasionally appearing in reality TV and other entertainment projects. Her resilience and versatility continue to inspire fans and colleagues alike. One of her memorable lines from The Parkers remains, "Mom, have you been opening my mail again? How could you ask me such a question? Well, for one, this duct tape, you sing." Countess Vaughn's portrayal of Kimberly continues to resonate with fans, and her contributions to television have left an enduring mark. Nicorao Campbell. Nicorao Campbell played Regina Foster, a supporting character on The Parkers in 1999. As a college student and friend of Kim Parker, Regina brought a lively energy to the show with her relatable and down-to-earth personality. Though her role was relatively brief, her presence helped add dimension to the storylines surrounding Kim and the other characters. At the age of 25, Campbell's performance was memorable for its authenticity, bringing a fresh perspective to the sitcom's dynamic. After her time on The Parkers, there is limited public information available regarding Nicarao Campbell's career or personal life, and her current status remains largely unknown. Despite her relatively short time in the limelight, Campbell's role as Regina remains fondly remembered by fans of the show. One of her notable lines from The Parkers was, "Can somebody swing by my house and do my daughter's hair? I'd come and help out, but I had a chance to work a double shift that day. Chase keeps begging me about some crazy robot toy I know." While her career after the series remains a mystery, her role in The Parkers continues to be remembered by fans who enjoyed her time on the show. Alfred Dennis. Alfred Dennis played Aldo, a memorable supporting character on The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. Known for his dry humor and distinctive charm, Dennis brought a unique presence to the show, adding warmth and wit in his appearances. When he joined the cast in 2001, at the age of 79, his extensive acting career, which spanned across television and film, added a touch of seasoned grace to the series. Sadly, Alfred Dennis passed away on August 1, 2016, at the age of 93 in Los Angeles, California. His death was due to natural causes related to age-related health decline. Despite his passing, his impact on The Parkers and the entertainment industry remains cherished by fans and colleagues. One of his memorable lines from The Parkers was, "Visionary, what's her name, pal? Miller. Okay, Miller. Ralph to Garden Tea Garden and Chai Industrial Pumping," which captured his quirky comedic style. Dennis's legacy as a respected actor endures, with his contribution to The Parkers still fondly remembered by those who enjoyed his work. Johnny Brown. Johnny Brown played Man, a minor yet memorable character on The Parkers, from 1999 to 2004. Known for his quick wit and charismatic presence, Brown brought a unique energy to his role, often providing comic relief in his interactions with the main characters. When he appeared on the series in 2003 at the age of 66, his decades of experience in television and film added an undeniable depth to the show, making even his brief moments impactful and unforgettable. Tragically, Johnny Brown passed away on March 2, 2022, at the age of 84 in Los Angeles, California. His death was attributed to cardiac arrest, which occurred shortly after he suffered a fall. Brown's passing marked the end of a remarkable career that spanned across multiple decades in Hollywood. One of his most memorable lines from The Parkers was, "Ladies and gentlemen of the Jordan, I'm not the jury, I'm the judge." Well, in that case, you should be locked up for impersonating 12 people. That's almost a dozen. Brown's legacy endures through his remarkable contributions to television, and he will always be fondly remembered by fans for his wit and presence on The Parkers. Lamont Bentley. Lamont Bentley played Hakeem Campbell, a charismatic and loyal friend to Nikki Parker, in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. As Hakeem, Bentley's charm, humor, and heart made him an essential part of the show's dynamic. His character brought a youthful energy to the series, while his strong friendship with the central characters resonated deeply with fans. In 1999, when he joined the series at just 26 years old, Bentley quickly became a fan favorite, known for his comedic timing and natural chemistry with his co-stars. Tragically, Lamont Bentley passed away on January 18, 2005, at the age of 31 in Ventura County, California. His death was caused by multiple blunt force injuries sustained in a car accident when his vehicle went off the road and he was ejected from the car. His untimely passing shocked those who knew him and left a profound impact on the entertainment world. Bentley's memorable lines such as, "How do you want to work here? I'll tell you why, opportunity. When I was your age, I heard it knocking loud and clear," continue to live on as part of his legacy. He will always be remembered for the joy he brought to the Parkers and to his fans. Nancy Wilson. Nancy Wilson played Aunt Rita, a sophisticated and graceful character in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. As the poised and elegant matriarch, Aunt Rita added a sense of wisdom and charm to the show, often grounding the more comedic elements with her refined presence. When she joined the series in 2001 at the age of 64, Wilson's storied career in music and entertainment brought a touch of class and depth to her role, enriching the cast dynamic. Sadly, Nancy Wilson passed away on December 13, 2018, at the age of 81, in Pioneer Town, California. Her death was the result of complications from a long battle with kidney cancer, a struggle she faced with courage and grace. Wilson's memorable line from the Parkers, "This is a choir, the album I had my daughters on it, Samantha and Cheryl and Michelle, we had everybody," showcased her character's depth and her ability to bring warmth to the screen. As an iconic jazz singer, her legacy endures not only in her musical contributions, but also in the heartfelt performances she brought to the Parkers. Fans continue to remember her as a true talent whose presence on screen left an indelible mark. Andre Rosie Brown. Andre Rosie Brown played Lamar, a memorable character on the Parkers from 1999 to 2004. With his distinct humor and larger-than-life personality, Lamar brought a unique energy to the show, often creating laugh-out-loud moments with his outrageous antics. When Brown joined the series in 2002 at the age of 46, his comedic timing and vibrant presence immediately stood out, making him a fan favorite. Sadly, Andre Rosie Brown passed away on July 18, 2006, at the age of 50 in Northridge, California, from a heart attack. His untimely passing was a shock to those who admired his work, and the entertainment world lost a talented comedian far too soon. One of Lamar's memorable lines from the Parkers was, "Oh, they said room 462, bed A, that's you. Well, I'm still alive. Well, look, I'm not leaving here without a body." Brown's legacy lives on through his unforgettable performances, and fans continue to remember him fondly for his contributions to the series and his infectious personality. His presence in the Parkers remains an enduring part of the show's charm. Jovan Adori. Jovan Adori brought the character of Stevie Van Lowe to life in The Parkers from 1999 to 2004. As Kim Parker's best friend, Stevie was known for her sharp wit, fashion-forward style, and ability to deliver memorable one-liners. At just 22 years old, when she joined the series in 1999, Adori quickly became a fan favorite, bringing her unique charm and energy to the role. Stevie's friendship with Kim added an extra layer of humor and heart to the show, making her an essential part of the Parkers' dynamic. In 2025, Adori is 47 years old and has transitioned from acting into a career as a writer and country music singer. She has also focused on her family life, balancing her creative pursuits with personal fulfillment. Though her time on the Parkers was a significant part of her career, she has continued to grow in other artistic fields, earning respect for her talents beyond the television screen. One of Stevie's hilarious moments was when she said, "Yes, a little tingly your brain," and in another memorable exchange, "No, my hair, Stevie forgot to wash all the shampoo out." Jovan Adori's contributions to the Parkers remain cherished by fans, and her ongoing career showcases her versatile talent. What we've witnessed today is more than just a story about a home renovation. It's a story of giving back, of changing lives through simple acts of kindness. Michael Jordan's journey teaches us that sometimes the most meaningful victories aren't the ones we achieve alone. They're the ones we achieve together, by lifting others up. And it's never too late to make a difference. Mr. Wilson spent decades helping others, and now the community is returning that love. This powerful story reminds us that small gestures of kindness can leave lasting ripples. You don't need to be famous to make a difference, so take this lesson with you today. Find ways to give back, even in the smallest of ways, because it truly changes lives. If this story moved you, hit that like button, subscribe to Iconic and turn on the notifications so you never miss an inspiring story like this. And if you want to know more about how we got here, check out the video on your screen. You won't want to miss it. Let's keep spreading positivity together.